coming for the launch of the White by Vera Wang collection exclusively at David's Bridal. We're so glad you guys could all join us and that we don't have snow and rain and nastiness outside today. Welcome, Vera Wang, to our chat this morning. Well, without much further ado, why White by Vera Wang? What led you to?
Well, I think I've had an enormous amount of respect for the bridal business that David's has built. And we've been in talks, or had been in talks, for a very, very long time. But I felt that this was the right opportunity, the right partner, the right time for us to be able to bring our designs to a more accessible audience. I think after 20 years in doing weddings and all the development that we have created painstakingly for all these years, it's been wonderful to be able to avail ourselves of all the work we've done and to bring it to a much, much broader audience and to more brides all over the United States. So. And David's really has been one of the foremost retailer for wedding gowns in this country, with the amount of stores that they have and the way they cater to their clients and the effort they put into the entire bridal process. And for that reason, I really couldn't think of a better partner for this line. And of course, the name White is symbolic in many ways, but also for us, it's something that I felt was resonated in an extremely modern and simple way to brides, for clothing that we like to think will bring something new to the bridal market, certainly at that price point, but really for women in general.
Tell us about the process for designing this collection.
The process. Wow, it's always difficult to talk about a design process for anything, I think, but certainly in the case of these dresses, we've tried to interpret a mood or feelings or silhouettes that have, worked for us before, no question, because there is a commercial side to all of this. It's not purely designed for design's sake. But also there's huge effort put into the technical ability of David's to manufacture and for us to design into certain parameters that I think not only make the product look unusual, but also make the product possible from a production standpoint. So we've been working very hard to develop new fabrics that will be coming down the pike and all of these different things. I mean, it's not without its challenges. I would be wrong if I said it wasn't. But on the other hand, they've been such great partners and so anxious to really help me not only learn about their business, but for them to understand my design process. So it's really been great.
Sounds like it's pretty much no different than your process for the
it's actually very similar. I think perhaps one of the things for me is I've tried also to be very cautious this first time out, that we really think very seriously about the silhouettes and what different kinds of brides, the offering that we're giving. So that editing has been a very, very huge part of the process. Yeah, no question. I mean, trying to figure out silhouettes and how many to have of each. And these are things that as we go along, in my experience, will become more and more defined as time goes on.
If you had to describe your style for our audience here.
My style?
Your style.
My style. In weddings.
In weddings, oh yes.
Well, I like to think there's a certain youth. I mean, inherently in ball gowns and evening wear, it's hard to reach that point where there's a certain youthfulness, because by the very formality of what those clothes imply, it's a hard dichotomy to strike, to make something that's romantic and probably sensual, but also keep it youthful and young and whimsical. Those are huge challenges, and I think that all of those things would describe what we've done in bridal over the last 20 years, I think. And there's no question that that vocabulary is constantly expanding and opening up and becoming more open, and we try to do that at the upper end very much. We try to still stay within something that's wearable for brides and respectful of them, but at the same time we try to push that envelope from a design point of view twice a year, I mean every 6 months. So for David, certainly we are more and more adapting, going further, faster than I even anticipated, really, which is, you know, is a challenge. But I think we're up for the challenge. I hope we're up for the challenge.
I think it's interesting you use words like romantic and sensual, but yet there's a modernity too, also.
Yeah, modernity is a tricky word. I always say everyone says it's modern, it's elegant. I don't know, everyone sees that kind of differently. But I think there's a whimsy to what we do, and I think there's a lot of detail. And I think I try to create something youthful. Youthful is important to me. We're starting at 150 doors first, right? And we're going. We're starting $600 to $1,200, and you know, I think we're going from sizes 0 to I think 12 or 14 in the first 10 months, and then after that we're moving on to 22, 28s, I think.
All the way to 26, I think, is the plan right now. So,
which is not something we haven't done at the upper end, actually, but, you know, in a more, you know, obviously one-on-one, custom-ordered way.
So after the spring collection, what's next? What does the audience have to look forward to in your fall line?
I think, you know, a further exploration of the bridal vocabulary. I mean, you know, I'm very anxious to see how the dresses do myself, because I think you don't ever, or you can never really test market anything at mass very easily until it comes out. That's been my experience with Kohl's, and I think that you really have to make it a constant process and constant journey and a constant study of whatever you do, not only from a design point of view, but from, you know, a retail and commercial point of view. So it's always that art and commerce balance you're trying to strike, and I think that we're very dedicated to doing that well, I hope.
Will David's carry your bridesmaids on?
David's will be carrying our bridesmaids, and which is / cocktail prom, and you know, shoes and accessories and pretty much the total package.
That's awesome. That's great. That's true.
No FTD, but.
All right. Thank you for your time this morning.
Okay,
I know you're incredibly busy.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thanks.
If I could get Bob Coos to come up for a couple of minutes and give you a perspective on David's, that would be great. What led you to want to launch a new brand?
Well, you know, the bridal industry's gone through quite a change, and you know, brides are getting older, they're getting smarter and more sophisticated. As you all know, you're mostly younger people here. The internet has changed profoundly how consumer awareness. You know, they are much more aware of styling, choice, availability, and it led us to conclude that you know, the thing that was really most important to the customer who comes in our store today is the relevance of the brand, the product to them. It's something that they want to affiliate with, and also the extent to which it's different. And looking at the broader sense of what we offered, it was clear to us that bringing another point of view into our store was really important to our consumer.
So, a $6 million question. Why Vera?
You know, we have over 50% of all brides in the U.S. actually shop our stores. So we have probably a better point of view on that consumer than many. And it was very clear to us that there was no brand other than Vera for our consumer. She is the queen of bridal, and I think that there are, and as many of you know, that there are very few brides who wouldn't want to wear a Vera Wang if they could. And so for us, it was really not a hard decision, other than convincing Vera we were the right partner.
So what impact do you expect this to have on David?
Well, as I said, I think for us, it's really how do you bring, you know, a fashion and aesthetic to the bride that really wants to have it, but otherwise couldn't afford it. For us, it was, you know, bringing that core brand in that I think not only you know, gave our consumer what they were looking for, but also actually would attract another consumer who really probably otherwise wouldn't come and shop our store because of you know, I think the lack of a, you know, a designer like Vera. So for us, it's a win-win. We help satisfy our current consumer, and we actually garner another one. I think for us, and as we look forward to this launch this week, it looks very much that that's happened.
So Vera covered the price point. The range is $600 to $1,400.
It's $1,400, yes.
Right, in this collection, and available nationwide, I guess. What about Canada?
Actually, we are opening up in Canada in the beginning of March, and we will actually have Vera available in Canada. I can say that they're very excited for that as part of the launch, and we do expect to roll out throughout Canada, you know, over the course of the next couple of years.
And then will brides chain? When will we be able to get to chain?
By the back half of the year, we will have it in all our stores. We're trying to do a phased rollout so we can make sure we can keep up with demand we anticipate. We will be launching our bridesmaids line in June for the next wave of stores, and I think it's pretty exciting from what I can see. It's really, really nice product, and very much similar to our bridal line. How many young women would love to have a Vera Wang cocktail dress they could wear again? I think it's just going to be terrific. We've never seen it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you all for joining us today. I hope you found it informative.